Alright folks, hello and welcome to another modern stream. We just finished recording a sweet episode of Titan Talk with Dom Harvey as our special guest. It is the longest episode so far, so there's a lot of stuff there, but we covered basically everything that we cared about covering, at least. I'm gonna say it like that. But so it was great. So today's stream is gonna be a little bit shorter than usual, but we're gonna be covering. This is my latest quote-unquote brew. Like, it's not really my brew, but it's like a deck that I started messing around with, and I'm kind of liking it. Like, it has a terrible matchup against all of the prowess decks, and I don't know how to fix those, but let's take it step by step. I tried a version of this deck last week or two weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And the idea was to play a mono green devotion deck using a leyline, basically based off of the excuse me, based off of the pioneer version of this deck, or like what used to be the pioneer version with Leyline of Abundance, which makes your dorks tap for additional mana. So we're playing a bunch of mana dorks, including Devoted Druid, which with a Leyline in play effectively taps for 4 mana, which is pretty great. The list I played a couple of weeks ago had also half Mana Dork Engine, half Utopia Sprawl Arbor Elf. Today we're going all in on the Dorks, so we see Elvish Mystics in Llanowar Elves making the appearance, of course, with Birds of Paradise. Maybe this should be Noble Hierarchs. I don't know. Who knows? It's kind of the same thing. We're gonna see what happens. But yeah, the rest of the shell is Oath of Nissa to help us found our stuff, and this also adds devotion to our account. Llanowar Visionary is the card that I wanted to try out as well. Basically a mixture between Elvish Visionary and Llanowar Elves, hence the very creative name. But this is just like an extra 3-drop that we can play on turn 3, and it progresses our game plan. Eternal Witness to combo with our primal commands, and then we have the heavy hitters in Karn the Great Creator, Nissa who shakes the world, and Walking Ballista. Leyline of Abundance, pretty good in this deck because it doubles us both enabler and payoff. I added 1 land. I was finding myself missing land drops very often, so we're playing 20 lands plus the Dryad Arbor. Dryad Arbor, of course, is here because it's very nice with Leyline of Abundance. The sideboard, we of course are playing Karn, so we have access to a Wish board. So we have the usual suspects in the Wish board. Then we have Blood Moons against the big mana decks, Gargaroth against the aggressive decks, Veil of Summer against discard / counter magic, and finally one of Force of Vigor because Hammer Time sucks. So we're gonna see how this works out. What's this bot thing? What bot thing? That's a meme by it was kind of a meme. It's something that Punt posted on Twitter, and then everybody started making fun of him, which was pretty funny. So we copied and pasted it and made it a command, because that's what we do in this channel. We just make the memes happen. Bird stuff for Blood Moon Noble doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of whatever. But like, I'm not sure that a 1/1 is better than an Exalted Trigger. And it's not like we have any Elven synergies. Yesterday I played against a similar deck that played 3/4 Ring Commands, kind of mono green control, and got demolished. Yeah, I remember like some mono green control decks back in the day, but those were, I think, before Nissa who shakes the world. So now I think that just Nissa is too good to pass up. Brief opinion on Gargaroth. Love that card on Arena. It's just a fine card. I think it's a fine cyber card. I think that's what it is. Playing against my opponent who is 1 and 2. This hand slaps. This hand is insane. Keep. And if my opponent is indeed on Hammer, I don't think they can beat this in a million years. Like, this hand is just busted. This hand is just so busted. Turn 2 Karn, thank you very much. Turn 2 Ballista for 4. God damn, this hand is absolutely disgusting. Love it. Excuse me? Did opponent keep a no-lander? I'm not gonna F6 because I want to give them the chance to go to the second main. In case they F6 through their turn or something, or like their stops were not in place or whatever. Okay, there we go. Okay, so maybe our hand is not that good because they're gonna bolt or bird and it's gonna be sad. But we get to Primal Command, make my opponent game life. Let's go. You can bolt the bird, just don't Labadar the bird. Oh wow, well, that's aggressive. So I definitely want to play the Scavenging Ooze. I think we're gonna pivot and 4, 5. The idea is to play Nissa next turn or to Primal Command, make my opponent gain life. So I think I want to play Scavenging Ooze. And we can play Ballista, I guess. Just as a blocker. We can also play Ballista for 0 and eat it. So what I like about doing that... Am I just doing... I think I'm doing that, right? My opponent can't attack if I do this. This is hilarious. Zero mana, discard the card, too strong. Thoughts is, alright. Take a peek. They have to take the Primal Command, otherwise they just lose. I mean, they probably just lose to all 3 of these, so... Unless they have a way to answer the Scavenging Ooze. They have to kill a Scavenging Ooze and we need to not draw land. Honestly, that's just hilarious. Ballista for 0, your go. Did they take... Yeah, of course they take the Primal Command. All of their options are just bad. You can't attack. So I guess that this is free. That's cool. All 3 of these are bad. But I guess this contributes to devotion and this doesn't. This will trap for 3 mana though. So we play Nissa. We can plus on Droid Arbor? Seems kind of okay. Yeah, okay. Oh! We can't plus on Droid Arbor? Well, good to know. Probably could have won this game if they bolted my bird instead of my face. Yeah. Yeah. They probably could have. I mean, they don't have a bolt in hand, because otherwise they would have attacked last turn, so I'm just going to serve here. I don't like that. Why would you show me that you're playing green? Why would they show me that they're playing green? That makes no sense. Yeah, they only had Scourge as a threat, but like they know about the ley line, right? It seems like you buy yourself so much time. Ballista was obviously great that game, allowing me to basically discard it to eat it with Scavenging Ooze. So obviously Ballista is busted, but Veil of Summer is such a weird card in this matchup. Veil of Summer is always such a weird card in this matchup. I guess I'm gonna bring it on the draw. It's likely it's gonna be terrible. It's pretty funny how they Thoughtseize me and they're like, well, yeah, I guess I can't beat any of those cards, but one of them straight up kills me right now. The other one maybe kills me in a couple of turns. Opponent keeps 7. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. It's pretty sad that we drew all of our fetches, so my opponent's Scourges are gonna be live. That's okay though. Alright. My opponent's draw could be anything. Could even be a boat. I'm playing this out, but there's no need for me to crack them right now. We're gonna be fetching for basics anyway, so. Goifo. All 4 bubbles. All 4 bubbles have been drawn. Fairly punished for my keep. By fairly punished, of course, I mean we have no shot at winning this game, but opponent declining to deal me extra damage. They're like, nah, you're good. Sad face. We probably can't win this anymore, can we? Multiple basics is interesting. Yeah, we're just dead here. We're not gonna have enough time to get going. Yeah, it was a weird keep. It was a weird keep. My opponent had shown me that they were a slow deck, but obviously like the turn 2 Goyf just put so much pressure on us. And they did have the Discard spell on one. To be fair, Discard spell or removal spell kind of wouldn't have mattered too much, but now this is a keep right here. This is what I call a good keep. We're gonna be able to make large amounts of mana very quickly. We're basically playing Affinity. Mono green Affinity. Love it. Birds. Elf. Go. Kill a bird, I'll play too. Yeah, exactly. You thought there's more where those came from, opponent. If they play a threat, we just get to vomit our hand here. There you go. That fetches Dryad Arbor. That's a lot of mana. So this is 6 mana plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15, 16. So we can double activate ley lines starting from next turn. Unless my opponent kills my stuff. It's almost inefficient to not have a payoff in hand versus Sothis until they have mana set up. Yeah, exactly. Druid dead. Okay, so now we're just gonna have 11 mana on turn 4. So we're gonna get to activate this once now. There's Scourge. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're 1 mana short. So we're probably dead, I assume, right? Got any Township flashbacks? Yeah. I mean, Township would be kind of solid here, and this one's not. And it's so close from being good, right? It's just so freaking close. We're dead to TBR regardless, so I'm just gonna make my opponent show me the TBR. There we go. That's very unfortunate. Like, we had 11 mana, we just didn't have anything to do with it. Feels bad, man. But I don't think that blocking there changes anything, right? It was not lethal regardless, and I'd rather just like have more stuff in place so next turn I can do something more explosive if I do draw anything. But yeah, TBR just killed us regardless, so our decisions did not matter. The only decision that mattered was putting fetch lands in our deck. That decision actually mattered. But like we have to because of the Okay, sounds pretty good. Wolves Nari Shiva, thank you for the follow. Keep this. Next turn we get to Visionary into Oath. If my birdie doesn't die. Definitely should have mulliganed that game 2 hand, obviously, but snow-covered island. So this could mean so many things. Blue-white blade. Some from Stoneblade deck. Love to see this. We Oath first and we Mystic later. All of these are pretty good. Let's go with the Nissa. So they know about Nissa. It's possible for my opponent to have some form of... sure, so... 1, 2... Make devotion. 4, 5. We could also 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just free. Bad draw. Good draw. So next turn we still have Primal Command. So that's business. My opponent can't have Force. I mean, they can... It's a 2 for 1 is what I mean. So we're looking kind of okay here. Yeah, there you go. Counterbalance has been pitched. Alright, so my opponent's just having fun over there. It is the fun mirror match. It is the fun mirror match. Ah, they miracle the Terminus? They miracle the fucking Terminus. Wow. Must be nice to be a Luxuck. Spike's decks are spreading. I don't think Spike has played this deck in a while because it's just really bad right now. 2 cards on the bottom. Maybe I should have Primal Commanded there. Actually, I definitely should have Primal Commanded. Put the planes on top. That was bad. My opponent was fishing for a land there and they whiffed, so I should have definitely done that. I just saw the Scavenge Genius and I basically immediately went there, and that was definitely a pretty bad mistake. So let's hit the path. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7 mana. So my opponent has probably Cryptic. But I don't really have any other place, so I guess I'm gonna go with that anyway. Yeah, that was such a bad play on my part. Such an awfully bad play. We could have resolved the Primal Command, we could have had a threat here. Would have probably gone for Eternal Witness anyway, just to put more stuff onto the battlefield. But now I made my opponent's Cryptic good, when otherwise it wasn't. Yeah, that was bad. Oh. Okay. Keeping their Yarding check seems better than the 1 point. No lands, because for whatever reason, Miracles players just love playing no lands in their deck. Control decks with 22 lands and plenty. I don't know. I don't know what I have to say to convince people to please play a reasonable amount of lands in their decks. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. No reason for me to play into their Cryptic. Omen of the Sea. And I'm holding on to these Verdant Catacombs because if my opponent does have a sweeper here, we can fetch this Drydiver again if we want to. Two cards on the bottom. Opponent probably digging for that sweeper. Didn't find it because they went straight to main phase. We did find a land, however. Can probably deploy this silly Llanowar Elf here. It enables me to start actually clocking my opponent a lot more effectively, because I can start getting tokens on my counters on my stuff. Look at how my opponent tapped their mana. Interesting. Okay, there's the Terminus. Not surprising. Mystic Sanctuary. So we just passed the turn. Put two cards on the bottom and one bottom, one top. Okay. One, two. There's Jace. Plus on me when I have a fetch land out here. Interesting proposition. Put a weird card on the bottom. Plus the player on the ballista. Yeah, but they should have plus on themselves, right? Plussing on themselves is just a lot better. That would make too much sense. Yeah, I know, right? Too logical. Doesn't even make any sense how logical that would be. Counterbalance, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the counterbalance. I don't think it's very good right now. So we can activate Leyline here, or we can activate Ballista twice. If we play this Leyline, this steps to 3, 6, 7. This clears the Jace. And now they have to plus again. I mean, this was a pretty sweet 2-for-1 for us, actually. I'm not too upset about that exchange. They draw 3. Okay. I assume they're looking for a sweeper. Delta. Show me the sweeper. Jace down. Sweet. Second leyline in place. Do I want to play this Ladder Elf? Huh. It's interesting, right? Because like they didn't find anything of the Jace, right? Because otherwise they would have protected the Jace. So I guess we just pass. The only issue that I have with just passing is that it kind of limits what we can do. They're drawing Archmage's Charm, that's fine. So they can potentially steal my Elvish Mystic here. Just have a second Jace. Okay. It's kind of bad. That is kind of bad. Just continue drawing silly dorks. Gonna play Devoted Druid and just pass the turn. We put something else on the board, but like my opponent doesn't have access to a Terminus right now. They get to draw 2 here, but they are drawing blind. And now next turn we can swing both at the Jace again. My opponent needs to deal with them. Weird how they opt before brainstorming. Put a card on top. Okay, it's about time we draw one of our payoffs here. Hopefully we can get this party going. Counterbalance. Here comes the Terminus. Oh, come on. For it taps it 4 with Leyline and Narset animate, yeah. Yeah, it taps for a lot of mana. Yeah, it was that turn. It was that turn where I played a Scavenging Ooze instead of just Primal Commanding my opponent's land to the top, have them miss another land drop. Would have been in significantly better shape. Kind of threw this a little bit. That sucks. So they bounced and drew? So they're gonna put Terminus on top? Is that the line? Putting Cryptic on top. Okay, so we're not fetching Drydiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oust. Well, I guess we are searching Drydiver, huh? Sneaky Dryad. It's like the 4th time I'm fetching for Drydiver. It's pretty funny. So now they have to quickly bounce this thing. They could have force number 3. We dealt with 2 forces already. There's no way they have a 4 on top. Scalding Tarn. Okay, so minus for Ballista. This kills the Jace. Do I place this guy? I mean, they're out of... Yeah, I think I played. They're out of Mystic Sanctuaries. Like, if they mine us here with the Tef, we just ping the Tef, we deny them the draw step. Seems good to me. Like, this is the card that they drew. Are we actually gonna win this game? Wow, we might actually win this game. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Are we gonna win this? There's no way we win this, right? Why would you show me a land that... I don't know. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can put a counter on the Ballista twice, or we can... I think I'm going to put a counter on the Ballista twice instead of activating Leyline, because this means that the Teferi dies regardless. And now we can Karn minus for coding. I kind of want to minus for Tormod script here. I'm definitely going to minus. I think I'm going to minus for Tormod script. Path to exile on top. Good. Because what this does is if my opponent counters and bounces the Karn, we can just redeploy it. Opt. No boat. Yeah, there's no boat in this list. Because, like, you make so much mana, then just Ballista kind of makes more sense. If my opponent does have the path... Okay, they found the Terminus. Oh, shit. I mean, sure. Yeah, my opponent is pretty good at miracling cards without setting them up. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't have enough. So this can block here. We're taking 20. 4, tap for 4. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Might as well play this. They have been missing on blind counterbalances. Yeah, they have. There's a counterbalance. Yeah, counterbalance did literally nothing. It didn't counter a single card in the entire match. Well, that's us being dead. That's brutal. Force doesn't really do anything. Blood Moon is interesting. It messes with their Mystic Sanctuary nonsense. It doesn't seem good enough to me. Yeah, that was probably like the worst counterbalance that I've seen. But like, it's just a really bad card anyway, so. Yeah, this deck plays 4 Mystic Sanctuaries. Let's throw in 2 Blood Moons. Wow, I can't believe that they just miracled an Entreat the Angel for 6 angels. That's kind of insane, honestly. And it had to be exactly on that turn. Because on the next turn, my opponent would have been too pressured to be able to do anything, or I could have just gotten Ensnare Bridge with the Karn. So it had to be exactly on that turn. Any turn prior to that, it wouldn't have been that impactful. Anytime, like anytime after that, it would have been irrelevant. I guess it would have been, yeah, maybe if it had been like one turn before, it would have also been fine. But then I would have used the Karn to get Ensnare Bridge, so it would have been in a similar situation. But I used the Karn to get the Tormod script because I thought that it was important to make sure that I was able to stop my opponent's loops. And then we just got luck sucked with Entreat the Angels. This deck has no way of dealing with tokens, by the way. Okay. Sure. Think of any stomping ground. What cards do I think I'm going to be playing Legacy from the Karn cards? No cards. I don't think there are any cards that are playable. Drawing ley lines, yeah, I know. Feels bad, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I guess we can just hardcast this ley line and it's not the end of the world. What is this? Aether Gust? This does make a lot of mana now. Yeah, it's not great. I'm never gonna say that drawing Leylands is particularly great, but like it could be worse. Still level up my mana here. I guess maybe there was an argument to Primal Command there. Put a card on top. Oh, it just seems so sketchy in this kind of deck. Opt seems super sketchy in that kind of deck. Like, it just doesn't set up your miracles. Like, you're just always hoping to luck sack, basically. You're always hoping that, you know, you spike the card that you're looking for. 3... This is the price, obviously. No force is good. No force is good. So I think I'm getting Ewit here so I can keep the loop going. And I play the Ballista. Opponent's drawing a land, so they're probably going to fetch. No Terminus, which is good. God fucking damn it. F's in chat for me. Three, 6, 7, 8. I think I'm just getting a land. A sweeper is just too devastating. Three, 6, 7, 8. Two cards on the bottom, still misses. Then fetches. Mystic Sanctuary. What? Archmage's Charm. So they're actively stopping themselves from drawing the Terminus? Sounds good for me. Counters! Gimme counters. So what a druid taps for effectively a shit ton of mana. Not enough ley lines. I mean, they kind of have to start dealing with this board right here. Voodoo Druid just stops for 8 mana. I guess I'm gonna... Am I making a big ballista? Or I can swing for more. I guess I don't want to deploy. I don't want to deploy more stuff. Still no Terminus. This game played out in a very, very funny way. We just drew 3 ley lines and they were actually reasonable. I mean, we saw the difference between when my opponent luck sacks the... When they luck sack the thingies, the miracles, and when they don't. And that's my issue with that deck, is like, you don't really have that much agency over how you set up your draws. Like, you're literally just crossing your fingers and hoping that it works. Doesn't strike me as the best strategy. I'm gonna keep this hand because I'm a madman. Of course. And I don't think we play around anything here. If my opponent spikes the Terminus, we just accept our defeat. More ley line. Terminus me, baby. Terminus me, baby. Terminus me, baby. Stop on draw step. Oh. Shit. Guess you gotta be careful with what you wish for. No! Brutal. I guess that was a mistake and I should have actually veiled in response to my opponent's Teferi. That's just delightful. That is just delightful. I guess my opponent could have countered that if they wanted to. How much fun I'm gonna get from my mana dork one day? Yeah, it's just a matter of patience. Patience! That's bad. Just gonna put it out. Okay, I think I've seen enough. We can move on to the next game. That saddens me. That saddens me. I feel like if my opponent had given me one more turn instead of the turn 2, what was it, turn 3, if they had, instead of the turn 3 miracle, they had had the turn 4 miracle, I think we would have been able to like resolve the Karn. It would have been a lot better setup to deal with something like that. We also had the Veil to make sure that the Karn resolved. I think that my keep was just fine. Obviously. But that's what it does, right? Like the Terminus deck, the Miracles deck is the, how can I say it? Like usually you play control decks because it's like a consistent strategy. The Miracles deck is the exact opposite of that. It's the most inconsistent control deck, and sometimes you just like that game 1 where my opponent just randomly spiked the land in the nick of time and was enough to win the game, or you just would have a game 2, right? Where I just did my thing, my opponent's cards are just not good enough and are not able to keep up with what I'm doing, so my opponent just kind of rolls over and dies. So instead of it's just what you're, it's just the choice that you're making, right? I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna be very sad when I never find that mana dork, or when my mana dork dies. I mean, I guess we do have 3 mana on turn 2. Combo. That Devoted Druid was not a bad draw. So now we are going to have 7 mana on turn 3. Okay, are we dead here? No, we're not dead. In terms of the games, your deck looked very... Yeah, thank you, Malik. Yeah, good games. Yeah, I was completely... When you found that in 3 Dangers, I'm like, well. There goes that, I guess. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4, 5. Then this stops for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nissa. This taps for 3. We... No, okay, so we untap here. We swing for 3. And now we get to play Ballista. And we kill the Giver. And then we chant and ping my opponent for 1. Our best draw is Karn. Steel Shaper's Gift. Well, I guess we're just dead. But like, I mean, that was the plan, I guess. Force, thank you very much. And I think that's all I really want. Just the Force. Leyline might be found when it's Surge of Greatness. Yeah, the problem with... I mean, it's just too much... It's too much variance, right? That is the issue that I have with In Search of Greatness. Like, you need to have a Leyline in your opener. You need to have turn 1 green source, turn 2 green source, and then you're getting a free Nissa on turn 3. Like, you're probably just better off just, you know, playing Mana Dorks instead. It effectively does the same thing, right? I have the sense that Force of Vigor is going to be pretty good here. Land would be fine. So I guess we just play Visionary. My opponent is 100% not playing our own Force of Vigor, I'll tell you that much. I know for a fact that my opponent is not playing our own Force of Vigor. Stoneforge. Stoneforge is good. Please remember, this squad has been trying out your green white kind of a bit with mocks, loams, and more hate bears. Do you think the mocks demons make it too difficult to get field online? I mean, it's not the way that I would go about it. It's definitely not the way that I would go about it. That's all I can really tell you. Whether it's good or bad or whatever, I just have no idea. I have not tried it though. Turn 1 Labyrinth and Talia is just so good. I don't know. Not always. It's all I can really say. So one is going face here. I think we're just doing this. Just trying to find a way to speed up against the other while still going over Sunoco. It's kind of impossible. Yeah, that's kind of the point, right? You're trying to do things that are polar opposites. Like Mock Samber is just unplayable against Sunoco. Just absolute trash. Yeah, I remember when I said that my opponent was definitely not playing around force. That's what I meant. In my opinion, you just have to choose what you want to do. Just have to choose which way you want to go, and then you kind of have to like streamline yourself in that way. When it goes to 6, I feel like I have to ship this. This seems a lot better. Just bottom the inferior elf. Everybody knows that Llanowar elves is the superior elf. Never not have the cigar to say it. I think we might just lose this game again because we're on the draw. Just like game 1. What's up, really? How's it going? Massive difference in this for this deck between being on the play or on the draw. Hammer time seems to be everywhere. Yeah, it is. It is indeed everywhere. Yep. So I guess we're gonna lose because we're on the draw, which is very unfortunate. Unless we find exactly Ballista. That sucks. All right, show me the land. I'm dead to a land. Yep. Opponent again not playing around force, but here I think it's definitely correct to not play around force. I mean, probably in the previous game it might have been just the same, where it's just not correct for them to play around force, honestly. Man. If we had been on the play in this match, I think we would have won games 1 and 3. Both matches, man. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Those are the worst losses. Feel like we have not been hitting good variance here in this league, and I mean, I feel like this deck is doing kind of something powerful. Definitely feels like it's doing something powerful. We're hitting the low end of variance, like in that game being on the draw, that match I guess being on the draw against the Terminus deck. The Entreat the Angels was just brutal. But this deck is showing some potential for sure. I would like to know if anybody has any suggestions for the Prowess matchup. Like, obviously Prowess is our worst matchup, right? We have all of these X1s that are kind of vital for us to do our thing. What is this? One over in Devotion. ¿Por qué no llevar Boil de banquillo? I don't know. I'm playing Veil of Summers instead. I don't think that you want to play both Boil and Veil. They seem like they do the same thing. Where be the Titans, my friend? I think that is like the thing that they are the Titans. That's the easiest answer. We were talking about that the other day. There's literally thousands of hours of Titan content in there. I streamed the Titan League yesterday. I don't know what you want me to tell you, my friend. And I know that people say it like jokingly and stuff, you know. In fact, I mean, I did exactly. I did make a reputation for that specifically, but I don't know. It's kind of what's the phrase I'm looking for here? The meaning is not the word, but in a way. Are you expanding my horizons? I've been streaming non-Titan decks for like a year now, maybe more. So yeah. Maybe it's your fault for not checking out the channel often enough. Right? Right? Getting super punished by the Nykthos. Super punished by the Nykthos. Maybe get some red black control. I'm subscribing. I do watch. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of stuff. I've been playing a lot of stuff. Thank you for the follow, Money Money. Team Amulet, let's go. It's Burning Tree Emissary. Why? Because it's a card that is just not. I'm not interested in. I played BTE. When was it? I think it's 2 weeks ago when I first introduced this deck, and I was trying to list with Arbor Elf and stuff like that. And BTE was the worst card in the deck by a lot. Because whenever you didn't draw your Nykthos, it was basically like a 2-mana 2/2, and like that's just not a playable modern card. The good thing is my opponent's playing Liliana in 2021, and you know, that's obviously great for us. That sucks. Tu que juego similar en prevenir hasta el baneo de la arena. Sí, bueno, de ahí viene ese pequeño. Justamente de ahí saqué la idea, de ahí armé el mazo. Am I playing this? I guess I want to play around Liliana. I'm gonna pop in here and you're gonna be playing Fish next. I've been playing a lot of different stuff. We played Hammer Time on Friday, it was a lot of fun. I've been playing some control decks as well. I mean, people do know me for playing Titan decks, but my success in Legacy has been with Black Green Shadow, fetching basics. This can fetch Drydiver. Also, my opponent played the Goy from their hand instead of playing the Goy from the yard. Team helps, then I would be proud. Yeah, let's go, Elvish. Elvish dudes. Yeah, I don't like my opponent's deck at all. I don't think it's very good. I can ultimate Nissa here. That plays around Assassin's Trophy makes my lands unkillable, but I cannot get through. So I think I'm gonna just hope I can dodge Assassin's Trophy for one more turn. Notably, Decay does nothing, so it has to be exactly Assassin's Trophy, and it has to be exactly this turn. So next turn we can make our lands indestructible. Could he return to the main? You know, I tried on Cockatrice and liked it. I mean, you're playing Karn because of that matchup specifically, so. Sure, I'll suck that one. I guess I should have fetched for Driver instead. Could have cleared this. This doesn't matter whatsoever, right? So, and these are indestructible, so I'm just gonna send everything at them. No! Oh, whoops. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but like that was obviously a misclick. I wanted to attack only with the lands. Whoops. Doubt that it's gonna matter. Doubt that it's gonna matter. Opponent did find the bubble. Too late though. Okay. Veil of Summer is kind of weird in this kind of matchup, but sure. Black Green Rock. No, my opponent's 0-1. 0-1, which is a respectable Black Green Rock record. They could have lost a lot more. They only lost one match so far. But yeah. Why no Sprawl on Elf? They doesn't combo very well with Leyline of Abundance. My first list had Sprawls and Elves. It didn't combo very well with Leyline. That's why we're not playing Sprawls and Elves anymore. I think this was the first list that I tried. Vivian was very underwhelming. So we had... I think I didn't even do this with my first list. Like Hydra. Hydra was pretty bad. It was only good when you were already winning. Which is not where you want to be. Like, that's not what you want your cards to be doing. Yeah, we're gonna ship this. We're gonna ship this one too. So I guess we'll lose this game. Multi 5 against the discard spell Lurrus deck. Know where you're gonna be. Although I guess that your opponent might just go turn 1. Yes! Yes! Let's go! We have a shot. We have a shot, Chad. Pretty cool swamp art from opponent. Seems like my opponent's deck would really struggle to lose life. I don't know, their deck seems pretty not properly built. Doesn't seem very good. We're gonna lose to it, obviously, but... Good, got him. Death Shadow Scavenging Ooze combo deck. Love to see it. You love to see it. We can only cast one of these dudes and then my opponent kills it. Blech. Let's just move on to the last game. Why is there a Scoos on this board? I don't know. Tier 3 beats tier 3, yeah. Yeah, I never said that my deck was good either. Now I think my deck is doing something powerful, but like it's just variance, you know? Like it's not a consistent deck, I don't think. I'm trying to build it in a consistent way. I'm trying to help it be somewhat consistent, but I don't think it is. And it's possible that there's no way to make it consistent. Primal Command is the nuts. What's up, Newton? Having some fun, playing some elves. My opponent's playing a shadow deck, and they fetch the basic swamp. I am thoroughly confused. I miss the one of Primal Command in Amulet, yeah. This card is pretty sweet. It's one of those randomly good cards. Did you ever see Shadow? Yeah, we saw Shadow game 1. Sided out shadows, yeah. That's the strat. Feels like we're time walking, right? And I guess I don't want them to gain life, so I'm just going to take damage. So I'm just gonna do this on the swamp. We can Scoos here. Okay. There's not too much use in getting Eternal Witness because we already have another command in hand, so. Scavenginus is pretty okay against Tarmogoyf. Not a great draw. Not a great draw. Not a great draw. Should have played. I was not in my new chair. Had to fully test it. Oh, nice. Are you one of those people that can sleep while sitting down? That is such a useful skill, and I cannot do it. That card fucks. Remember when this card was like $60 or something? Those were the days. Those were the days. Chair's a recliner. Sweet. Attack Liliana. Actually, we may be in a situation where, like, this just... If my opponent doesn't have an answer to this Scavenging Ooze, they just lose to it straight up. Like, Last Hope is fine here. Like, it was very good, but, like, now they have to throw away Goyf. They can't double block. Like, this Scavenging Ooze is just taking over. They're just chump blocking with their Goyfo. Goyfo down. Man, this Nexus is just so awkward here. Pretty brutal. Sleeping Nurse is a blessing not everybody has, yeah. So if they -2, I guess we did Tarmogoyf in response. Just did not give my opponent options. Magic carpet, much more leg room. Yep. Definitely pretty solid. And if they don't have removal, we're in pretty good shape. You got a shadow. Remember when my opponent fetched for basic on turn 1? Well, damn. If we had a list of cards I did not expect to see from my opponent's deck, Damnation was pretty high up there. My opponent's probably playing like what? 18, 19 lands at most? Opponent should definitely minus to get back their shadow, play their shadow. Beauty's Russia magic carpets fly you. This Nykthos is destroying me. Absolutely obliterating me. Just brutalizing me. I don't think Nykthos is a modern playable card. I mean, it's not if you're like an idiot like I am and, you know, you don't draw your lands that you wish you were drawing. It's a lot better when you draw good cards. You're really from Russia? How many fingers are it? That is good. That was very good. That was very, very good. Wow. We're about to lose to my opponent's unplayable deck. Makes me very sad. Also missed out on a point of damage there. Dead Shadow Damnation deck. Liliana the Last Hope. Good stuff, good stuff. Second Shadow. So the play here is to minus for bridge. It exposes the bridge to discard. Whatever. In combat, we fetch for Dried Arbor. Dried Arbor blocks one of these. Play bridge. Hope we never draw another. Didn't we were perfect with this deck last time too? Last time we 3-2'd. And I played one more league. And I also 3-2'd again. Alright, we need a prediction. Is this the 05 or are we gonna 1-4? Mods. Make me a prediction. The 05 was Ren. And it was actually 1-4 because my opponent didn't... they just timed out game 3. Can we get the 05? Exactly. The 05 dream. The O5 dream is at stake, chat, so vote right now. Gotta vote. Gotta vote. We're playing against the 1 and 3, okay? So before any information, get your votes in right now. Get your votes in right now before we see the last matchup. So you get your votes in. Get your votes in. I'll wait. I'll wait. I've never 05 only because I've been too depressed at 0-4 and just dropped at 1-4. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do this. Ooh, okay. We strategically bottom the redundant Nykthos. Perfect value. Are we gonna play against another shadow deck? Still don't know what my opponent's on. Probably some blue-black control deck of sorts. Should get my Eternal Witness here. Karn off the top. Karn off the top. Imagine not believing in it. Imagine not believing in it. We're gonna get forced though. But imagine not believing in the Karn off the top. Just scoop it so I can get my boats? No. We're not scooping here. We're gonna fight it. Fight it until the ultimate and direst of consequences. Come on, opponent. Do you have the force or not? Let's speed up the thing. Veggie being able to afford force in MTGO and be in the 04 bracket. Yo. Chill, okay? Chill. We're gonna get coding here. Yeah. My opponent probably doesn't have a way to answer the Karn with only 3 mana, so getting coding here seems like the better option. Snapcasterino. Snapcaster Thoughtseize. Opponent afraid of the coding. Coding puts too much pressure. Excellent. Excellent, I tell you. So I guess we're gonna get Walkie B. We're gonna play Walkie B for 2. That basically guarantees the survival of the great creator. No boat on the side now. Imagine if I had boat in my side instead of Ballista there. I mean, if my opponent had gut shot, I would kind of be impressed. Yeah, so my opponent's playing the Narset nonsense. I could put a counter on the ballista, but I'm not willing to just like throw away this Nykthos because I might need the mana. Like my opponent might tap out for an Narset or something, then we get to blow them out a little bit. I mean, blow them out. Pfft, maybe a little bit of an overstatement, but... Frantic Inventory. Okay, my opponent's doing it. This is a Karn only stream now. Facts. Actual facts. Also, my opponent's had 11. Just casually took 8 damage from 2 Thoughtseize, Shock, and a Fetulence. That is one thing that I've been, for the past year, basically I've been playing MTGO exclusively, so if I ever go play a paper tournament, keeping track of my life total is going to be like a brand new experience altogether. Just play a bunch of different decks and just slam the Karn package. Now that's good deck building right there, that's what that is. Scavenging Booze. Or land. Some buff Corel. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Is this bitch blue? What do you mean? So if my opponent wants to VTB bounce my Carno, that's fine. Please look it up on YouTube. I try to not play YouTube videos during the stream because of... Oh no! Ping you. And ping you. Down to 8. We almost have him. Almost have him. It's a deck that was a thing for exactly 1 week after the printing of Narset and was then never seen again. All right, that deck with like disrupting shows and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have a YouTube stream. Those were always good fun. Oh yeah, those were fun and disturbing. But no, because of the whole because of the whole I don't want to get my channel fucked thing. Can't do those anymore. Yes. As long as you react to it, it should be fine. Okay, good to know. Just scream a lot. Whoa! What? Are these good reactions? Is this good content, chat? Am I creating good content right now? Content. Yes. Got him. Are those good reactions? Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. My content is evolving. I guess they could technically have something. Oh, actually, let's eat my own ballista. So like, ooh, let's eat my own coating. No, actually, let's eat my own ballista. That seems better. First rule of YouTube is the video needs to have an open mouth facing the preview. Or it can be something like, or this one is my favorite. I am basically a YouTuber now. You can't get back ballista. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be able to in a couple of turns. Paid 6 mana for this? How about that one? Or you can always have... That one's also pretty solid. Nikaju's thumbnails are hilarious. Big fan of Nikaju's thumbnails. Just embrace your inner MTG. No, but Harry doesn't do anything like that. Harry's not that fun. I definitely need more clickbait for sure, though. Harry's not that fun. Got him. You're gonna win because you're gonna overthink everything around out of the clock. It's possible. It's possible that we might get there. I mean, I am working pretty damn hard to get my 05, right? My 1-4. Just give me my 1-4, you know? Like, that seems kind of fine. Like, they have to counter my Pipe Needle. Okay, there's Narset. I guess they could have, like, the shuffle thingy. Like, the draw 7. There's no way they play the draw 7, do they? Frantic inventory. Here's my biting needle. I am gonna name Jace again. So they put a cryptic on top. I wonder if they have another cryptic here. Counter target spell, tap all creatures. So there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess this multiplies my mana. Multiplying mana is good. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is for 3, 4. Just get another ballista. We get ballista, we kill both walkers. They have a Cryptic in hand. Yeah, that sounds fine. Oh, Ballista kills them. Whoops. They are at 7. That is cute. How did we win that game? Chat, please explain. Why did we win that game? How did that even happen? I bet for the 05, but even I can't deny lethal. Yeah, Danielle, you were exactly right. I mean, missing lethal is kind of part of the. It's kind of part of the 05 experience, right? Opponent is bad at control deck. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know my opponent. I don't know who they are. Maybe they're new. Honestly, it just seems like Canister has been doing so well with that Narset deck, and whenever I see it, it just seems so mopey. I feel like... Let's see if I can find the list. But Canister has been like doing like top 32 in challenges and stuff like that. And it's every time I see the Narset deck, it's just... Let's see if I can find the list here. Yeah, you gotta go real low to find the list. There we go. 3 Snappies, 4 Narset, 3 Jace the Mind Sculptor, 1 Thirst, 2 Cling, 3 Push, 24 lands, of course. Oh, Vendilion Click. I'm so afraid of Vendilion Click. The nuts. Man, Leyline is so much better whenever you don't have to actually cast it. Is that why Once Upon a Time was banned? It wasn't bad when you paid mana for it. I mean, Once Upon a Time was kind of bad when you paid mana for it, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yes. 24 land control deck, not hitting land drops. Name a more iconic duo. 24 land control deck and non-missing land drops. Alright, this hand is pretty fucking good, not gonna lie. Do we get Devoted Druid? I guess we get Wooded Foothills. Everything just resolves. Nothing like finally getting to do the thing. Getting to do the thing on match number 2 when your opponent misses land drops on turn 3 in the 0-4 bracket. Let's go. Let's go. Gisnis, hope you learned to trust. Hope you learned to trust. Gotta trust the meme, okay? Gotta trust the meme. What is this nonsense of not trusting? Alright, that was good. Honestly, I don't think that the deck was that bad. I do feel like I hit the very, very low end of variance in many of those games. On the other hand, it could just be that the deck just sucks. I mean, it's for sure. It's for sure something that could have happened. But whenever the deck functioned, I thought it was doing something super, super powerful, and definitely on Modern's power level, right? Like whenever you have like your turn 0 Leyline and you turn 1 your Dork and then you untap and you get to Karn on turn 2. Like we had 11 mana on turn 3, one of the games, and like that is nothing to scoff at, right? Like that is pretty solid. I do think that this deck is not built properly. I firmly believe that I'm not building this deck the best possible way. I think that maybe that involves more primal commands. I have been pretty happy with Ballistas. Like we make insane amounts of mana, and Ballistas obviously pair very well with insane amounts of mana. Llanowar Visionary is like kind of cute, but maybe this is not the way. Maybe I am playing too many dorks. Maybe I'm not playing enough dorks. I think that 12 dorks seems fine, and then with 3 devoted druids. Maybe I should be playing more devoted druids. Maybe I should be playing less. I think that the split between Llanowar Visionary and the other dorks kind of makes sense, because I want like Visionary at least cycles. You know, it's like a little bit of halfway going about it instead of going to him. What about adding some prime times? The thing about adding prime times is that number 1, you don't need it, and number 2, like even if you cast it, you can't really do too much. Like you could have add Titans, but like what are you gonna do? Just like get a Nykthos? You could play like Kesef Golfrun. I don't know. We saw how many times just like having multiple green lands was important, and just playing a bunch of basics makes your Blood Moon plan in the sideboard better. I do think the Dryad Arbor Leyline of Abundance is worth it, so I think I like having access to Dryad Arbor, as this should not really be amongst the lands, right? This should kind of be over here with the Mana Dorks. In realistically speaking, we have 20 lands and the Dryad Arbor, because like this card fucking sucks whenever this is the land that you have. But yeah, I think that this is definitely something worth exploring. I think that there's a lot of tinkering with numbers to be done. Maybe cutting some of this. A Noble Hierarchy is another interesting addition to the deck. I think that main deck Scavenging Ooze maybe is not great. Maybe they should go to the sideboard, make room for more Eternal Witnesses, more Primal Commands. Many different ways that this deck can go. So it's fun though. I think I like this deck, and whenever I play it, I have a good time. So I'm probably going to be bringing it back at some point again. Army of the Dam, a bad card if played in the right deck for Modern. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dragons. You're going to have to give me a little bit more information or rephrase the question. That's going to be it for this video though. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope that you are going to be hitting that follow button or that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next YouTube video. Take care, and bye-bye.